Story 1, Room 604. When Daniel arrived at the Old Mountain Hotel, it was already late. The lobby lights flickered, and the night clerk spoke very softly, as if afraid someone might hear him. "Your room is 604, the clerk said, sliding the key across the desk. "If you hear anything at night, just ignore it." Daniel frowned. "What do you mean?" But the clerk only said, "Please, just ignore it." Daniel rode the elevator up. The hallway on the 6th floor felt strangely cold, like the air was being pulled away. He opened room 604. Everything looked normal, quiet, clean, and a little old. He took a shower, got ready for bed, and turned off the lights. At around midnight, he heard a faint knock. Tap, tap, tap. Daniel sat up. The knock didn't come from his door. It came from inside the walls. He pressed his ear against the wall. Someone was whispering, very softly. "Let me out." He backed away, shivers crawling up his neck. Maybe it was the pipes. Maybe another guest. Maybe the clerk was just messing with him. He tried to sleep again. Tap, tap, tap. "Let me out." The voice was clearer now, and it sounded like it was right behind the wall next to his bed. Daniel grabbed his phone and went to the hallway. He called the front desk. "There's someone in the wall," he whispered. The clerk sighed, almost annoyed. "Please don't talk to it, that makes it stronger." Daniel froze. "What do you mean it?" The clerk said nothing. Suddenly, Daniel heard a loud thump from inside his room, then another, then the sound of nails scratching frantically as if something was tearing its way out. Daniel backed away. "I'm leaving." "Do not open your room door," the clerk said urgently. "Whatever you do, do not open it." But the scratching grew louder, faster, more desperate. The door to his room shook violently from the inside. Bang! "Let me out! Let me out!" Daniel panicked and ran down the stairs. He didn't stop until he reached the lobby. But the clerk looked confused. You're still alive?" The clerk pointed behind Daniel. "It followed you." Daniel turned slowly. The elevator doors were open, but the elevator was empty. And yet from inside the empty elevator, the voice whispered, "Thank you for letting me out." Story 2, The Guest Who Never Sleeps. Maya checked in at the small seaside hotel to finish her work in peace. Only 3 rooms were occupied that night. The place was quiet, almost too quiet. At midnight, Maya felt thirsty and stepped out to get water from the vending machine near the stairs. As she walked, she noticed something odd. A man standing at the far end of the hallway. His back was facing her. He didn't move at all. "Hello?" she said gently. No response. She walked to the vending machine, trying to ignore him. But after she pushed the button, she saw something strange in the reflection of the vending machine's glass. The man was now facing her, but she hadn't heard him move. His face was pale, eyes wide open, staring at her without blinking. Maya's heart raced. She slowly turned around, but the hallway was empty. The man was gone. She rushed back to her room, locked the door, and tried to calm down. At 2 a.m., she heard footsteps outside her room. Slow, heavy. They stopped right at her door. She held her breath. Then came a soft whisper. "I can see you." Maya grabbed her phone and called the front desk. "Someone is outside my room." The night manager sounded tired. "Ma'am, he does that. Do not open the door." "Why is he here?" she whispered. "He was a guest from room 11. He never slept, ever. One night he just stopped. We found him standing in the hallway, eyes open." Maya's skin turned cold. "So what do I do?" she asked. "Just go to bed. Pretend he's not there." But the whispering outside her door grew louder. "I can see you. I never sleep." The doorknob began to turn on its own. Maya screamed and pushed a chair under the handle. The whispering stopped. Silence. Morning came, and sunlight finally entered the hallway. Maya gathered her things and opened her door. Nothing was there, but on the floor, written in thin, shaky letters, was a message. Tonight, I'll watch closer. Story 3. The Wrong Reflection. Leo was staying one night at an old hotel on his way home. The room was simple, a bed, a desk, and a huge mirror on the wall. He hated mirrors at night, so he draped a towel over it before going to bed. Around 3 a.m., he woke up to the sound of water dripping. Drip, drip, drip. He checked the bathroom. Dry, sink, shower. Everything. Drip, drip, drip. The sound came from behind him. He turned slowly. The towel had fallen off the mirror. Leo stared at his reflection, but something was wrong. His reflection wasn't copying him. While he stood still, his reflection slowly tilted its head and smiled. Leo stepped back. The reflection stepped forward. Leo turned away, heart pounding, and reached for the door. Drip, drip, drip. He froze. The dripping was coming from the mirror, from the reflection's mouth. Dark liquid dripped down its chin. Leo ran to the hallway and banged on every door until a staff member arrived. "What happened?" the staff asked. "There's something wrong with my reflection." The staff's face went pale. You stayed in room 9? Yes. The staff swallowed hard. "We covered all the mirrors in that room. Someone keeps removing the covers." "Why? What is it?" The staff whispered. "That reflection isn't yours. It belongs to the man who died in that room. He tries to copy people, so he can switch places." Leo's stomach dropped. "Switch places?" The staff nodded. "If he manages to copy you perfectly, you won't come back." Leo looked at the mirror again. His reflection was standing inside the room, perfectly still. But now it looked exactly like him. Exactly. The staff grabbed Leo's arm. "Come with me. Don't look at it. Don't let it finish copying." But just before the staff shut the door, the reflection turned its head sharply toward them and whispered, "Too late.